Viewer discretion is advised. Ladies and gentlemen, it is May 11th, Sunday. We are Side Picks. I'm here with Austin Harrison, Nick Ballinger, Nick Ballinger. I'm Red Samples, your host. Starting off with the NBA. Nuggets Thunder. They're tied on the series 2-2. Who's taking the series? What y'all got?
Nuggets.
Nuggets.
Nuggets are too physical, man. I don't think Thunder can compete with them physically wise. And SGA, this is the first game of the series. SGA stepped up when the Thunder needed him most. I mean, he's 1 for 4, stepping up when his team needs him.
I mean, you say that, but I mean, I can pull up the text from the other day when you said, "Man, when the Thunder's playing like this, can't nobody play with them." So,
yeah, that is true when they're playing like that. But when they get in a dogfight with the Nuggets, like I said before in the previous podcast, they can't win a dogfight with the Nuggets. So as long as Jokic is controlling the game, the Nuggets are going to be hard to beat. But when SGA is controlling the game game can get away really quick because the Thunder can run away with it. And right now, Jokic is controlling the series.
I'd say yes and no. I mean, he obviously, just like a lot of players in the NBA, are not liking how the refs are leaning more towards giving SGA calls and not the other way around. Jokic especially.
Paul Murray, I feel like he's not getting the same calls neither.
Yeah, I actually like the Thunder to take it. I still feel like the fresh legs. The Nuggets probably take the next one, and then I think the Thunder take the next two and take it down in 7.
So you think the Thunder take the next, or the Nuggets take at Thunder?
They take Game 5.
Yeah, the Nuggets are taking Game 5.
So you think they're going to win on the road and then go home and lose?
Yes.
Interesting.
Oh yeah.
They don't go home.
Game 6 is at Denver, is it not?
Yeah, they go to Game 6 at Denver, then Game 7 is at OKC.
Yeah, so Game 5. They win Game 5, they're up 3-2, then they go home.
So you're saying Denver up 3-2 and then goes home?
Yeah. And
he's saying OKC wins at Denver?
Correct.
And then comes home and closes it, Game 7?
I do. I think so. I think it's time. I think SGA, I mean, he's got the MVP under his belt now. Time for him to show what it's about, and it's going to be the Thunder taking care. He's going to be the new legend killer instead of Ant. Going to take down.
That's not done though.
It's not like Kobe said, job's not finished, but it is finished. Thunder's going to take it. Watch. I got confidence in it.
Just like you said, Cleveland too.
Actually, if you go back and look, I actually said the Pacers would be a team that could definitely jump out and take them.
Most of the people thought Cleveland would win that series. It's not even looking good at all.
Yeah, it's not looking. It for sure isn't now that Donovan Mitchell hurt his ankle again tonight. Might as well go ahead and wrap that up in blue and yellow and send Cleveland to the house.
And Indiana's a tough place to play. It's always been a tough place to play.
Oh yeah.
I kind of figure Indiana will get the gentleman's sweep there.
Well, they're looking like it for sure. I definitely did not expect them to jump all over Cleveland like they did, but injuries with Cleveland. I mean, they lost Garland in Game 1, and that's just been a consistent struggle for them. The Pacers have taken advantage and have not let them play anywhere close in the series. And then you got Boston. They can't close out games with the Knicks. I mean, Jason Tatum, my boy. I mean, my lord. He had in Game 1 and Game 2. He had a chance to tie or win the game and missed both of them. I'm like, what are we doing, Jason? All right.
But a lot of the credit goes on the Knicks defense, though. Bridges has stepped up and made the play at the end of the game that's closed it out.
I agree, but listen,
not allowed the Celtics to get a good shot off.
I'm talking about my man, because in Game 1 he had a good shot, he had a good look, and he missed that. He had the last shot before OT. He had that, and that should have been Game 1 to Boston. But instead, they went to OT and acted like they hadn't just played 4 quarters, or they looked like they just played 4 quarters. And the daggum Knicks was like, "Hey, fam, watch this." Absolutely ridiculous. But I still, Boston's still gonna win.
I mean, I feel like whoever wins Game 4 will probably win the series. because we're at New York. You're at New York. If you lose both at your home court after stealing two from Boston on their home court, it's going to be hard to go back to Boston, knowing that more than likely, even if you do get to come back home, if you lose Game 5 at Boston, you're going to have to come back to Boston for Game 7. It's going to be tough for the Knicks. They got a tough road ahead of them, really. If they lose Game 4, you have to win Game 4 for the Knicks. If Boston wins Game 4, essentially the series is over with. Because you're playing 2 games at Boston if the Knicks were to win one of the last 3. And it's just that's a tough road winning in Boston.
Especially since Boston owned the Knicks in the regular season. I think they were 4-0 against them. So,
well, let's be honest, they've owned them all 3 games of this series. The Knicks have just stole it at the very last couple minutes.
Yeah,
the first 2 games.
No, believe me, if anybody knows how unfortunate that is, it's me watching it. So,
well, it's me knowing how fortunate it is for me watching it.
See, I think Boston, the Knicks will win at home, and then Boston will win back to back, one at home, and then go back on Friday to New York and win it in 6.
Well, if Knicks win one more, that gives the Knicks 3 wins.
yeah.
So they would have to go back to Boston for Game 7.
Correct.
So if the Knicks win Game 4, then Boston would have to win out to take the series.
Right. I'm saying the Knicks will win Game 3 or 4.
Game 4.
Yeah, it'll be 2-2. Then they'll go back to Boston.
No, that'd be 3-1.
It'll be 3-1. Knicks are up 2-1 right now.
Yeah.
They've took the first 2 games.
Yeah.
They took the first 2 games, and then Boston fucking blew them out.
Right.
Blew them out in Game 3.
Yes.
Yeah, you're adding the wrong way.
Yeah.
So you're saying Boston at 7?
No. Yeah, Boston at 7. Yeah, you're right.
That's what I fear is going to happen. I fear Boston at 7, but
yeah,
I feel like if the Knicks can win at home, then they can win at home again. But the Knicks have to win Game 4. The winner of Game 4 is going to win the series. That's just how it's going to play out. If you can't go to Boston and you can't expect to go to Boston 4 games in one series and win 3 out of 4. And they've already took 2, so I just don't see them winning another one at Boston.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure. Let's see. Steph Curry with his hamstring. His timeline right now is coming back Game 6 at the earliest. Will the Timberwolves let them get there is the question.
I don't know. The Warriors defensively have a really good game plan. Like they're taking it away from Anthony Edwards. They're not allowing him to control the game. That's something the Lakers couldn't do, and that's why the Lakers are sitting at home right now. But the Timberwolves are finding other ways to win because the Warriors don't have that offense. But without Curry out there, their offense obviously takes a huge, massive blow. And Jimmy Butler he's just gonna have to step up and play like he did when he was with Miami Heat. All the weight was on Jimmy Butler to win with the Heat, and he did. So if Jimmy Butler could take control of this series and just accept the fact that it's all on him, they can. But I don't see it happening. I feel like the Timberwolves game plan has been really well. It's worked out well. They've learned how to play without Anthony Edwards instead of playing through Anthony Edwards, and losing Curry obviously is a huge loss for the Warriors.
The problem is that Jimmy Butler coming there so late in the season, like he doesn't have the chemistry with the team to step in and take up Curry's role. So they're definitely got to find a way to maneuver this offense to where it goes through Jimmy Butler and they're able to outscore Minnesota because Anthony Edwards just since the playoffs have started, he's playing like a man on a mission. And I feel like without Curry out there, it's going to be really hard for them to keep up points-wise. No matter how good the defense plays, Minnesota has found a way to play in every single game they've played, and they found a way to win the majority of the games they've been in, too. Hence why the Lakers are sitting at home. Hence why they're up 2-1 right now. And I don't see Curry getting a chance to come back in. I think Minnesota's taking it in 5.
I think the same, but instead of Curry I think he'll try to come back Game 4, Game 5 because it's an elimination game, and I don't think it's gonna work out.
And there's potential in that for sure. I mean, obviously, but
It's
it
going to be
it,
too early, but
it also depends on clearance too, because I mean, uh, what's protocol look like for somebody like him, with his age
uh,
and the hamstring, like it may be one of those calls where they just come out there like, hey, I know you want to go play, but you remember how Kevin Durant was when he come back. We brought him back for the playoffs too early, and he tore his Achilles. So
But there is a way for the Warriors to win. They have to get the offense has to move through Draymond because he's such a good at distributing the ball and creating with the ball in his hands, just like allowing other people to get open. And even if Curry comes back, that doesn't mean you have to stop distributing the offense through Draymond. Because like Draymond has that Magic Johnson effect. Obviously, he's not Magic Johnson, but he can you get the ball to Draymond at half court, he makes plays. You laugh, but Draymond's had a lot of success in that Warriors offense doing that, and that's why they've won a lot of championships.
I
here's a
get it.
question.
Is
Like,
it
yeah, a lot of people say, "Oh, Steph Curry made all these big shots," but a lot of people take away from what Draymond Green did with the ball in his hands, the way he was able to get it to Curry and get it to Klay Thompson, because Klay Thompson wasn't a good guy. He wasn't good off the dribble. A lot of his come off, catch and shoot. And Draymond's done that for the Warriors, and they've had a lot of success out of it. So if the Warriors can get the ball in Draymond Green's hand and allow him to find the open guy, they have shooters. They have Buddy Hield. They have Jimmy Butler, who's been pretty good shooting from three in the playoffs.
Well, here's the problem. Draymond, I think it's one or two more technical fouls,
Yeah,
and he's
two.
suspended for a
Two
game.
more. Yeah.
So do you think he makes it to Game 5 without getting Game
He
6?
will make it to game. He will make it to Game 5. If it goes to Game 7, he will not make it to Game 7.
Right.
And if the Warriors go on to the next round, he will eventually get suspended anyways.
Yeah. So I don't, because then you're going to be missing Draymond and Steph potentially.
Yeah, if they lose Draymond and Steph, it's over with.
Yeah.
Listen, I know you was talking about Draymond or whatever, but at the same time, you got to think back on who was that said Game 7, game on the line, give me, instead of Curry or Clay, give me Andre Iguodala, cuz. You
That's
talk,
just that defense. So.
yeah, you talking about the wrong one person taking the offense going through, but
But Draymond's not going to be a scorer. You don't want him to score. You just want him to distribute the ball to the weapons you have.
yeah, no, I get it, but I mean, with his foul trouble and everything else, like, do you really want the ball going through Draymond?
I feel like you have to at this point because
I mean, you're gonna have to. They're gonna have to come up with something. They're gonna have to change up something.
He's not creating offense for you. He's another catch and shoot guy. When Buddy Hield's shooting off catch and shoot, he can get hot and stay hot. Jimmy Butler, obviously, he could take control of the offense and do what he does. But Jimmy Butler's, he's not that same offensive player that he was when he was younger, He doesn't have that same jolt that he used to have, ability to create. Great player still, but not the same player that he was when he was with the Heat.
Hence why he's missed a couple of easy shots under the basket these last couple of games.
I mean, the key is they have one of the best coaches in the NBA, and they got to find a way to win without their best player.
Yep. And if there's anybody that can coach them to it, it's him for sure. All right, swapping over to the MLB. We've got the AL Central on the clock. Very, very hot division right now. Are the Tigers still the top team in the Central?
So right now they're the top team. We get closer to. I feel like the Guardians, though, they are one move away from being the best team in that division, and obviously the Royals are going to come up because the Royals got a really good team out there. But right now it looks like it's Detroit's to lose. Detroit's to win it. They're playing the best baseball. You got Javi Baez playing like nobody ever expected, except me, and I'm pretty sure I said that. I'm pretty sure I said that 3 weeks ago. But Javi Baez showing out. Gleyber Torres playing phenomenal, something he never could do for the Yankees. And and a lot of the younger guys, like the pitching staff, the Tigers may have the best rotation in MLB right now. With Scuball and Mize. I know Mize just went on the DL with a hamstring, but Tigers are playing really good baseball. But I think the Guardians, if they go out and make a trade and they get a weapon on offense, because their pitching's been really good too. If they go out and get a weapon on, that'll help them on offense. The Guardians and Tigers maybe maybe the big two for the race right there.
I do think it's Detroit's to lose. Obviously, I said going into the season that I felt like this division was the Guardians. Um, I still think that the Guardians may still potentially come out on top. They don't need a trade. They just need their offense to start hitting like they did last year, and a couple of these acquisitions that they got. Who was the outfielder that I praised that ended up coming in for them?
The one that traded Nolan Jones.
No, not Nolan Jones. They got him from the Nationals.
Now that is a good one. If Nolan Jones gets rolling out there, boy, look out for that guy. That guy could be a stud.
What is his name? Oh my gosh, my mind.
Right, from the Nationals.
Yeah, outfielder.
Are you talking about Lane Thomas?
Lane Thomas, yes.
Yeah.
If Lane Thomas has been like that guy last year, and even when he got to them, great hitter, man. This year,
Yeah.
he has not looked good at all. And he was one of my main focal points. Like, hey, him and Quan in the outfield, along with J Ram at the top, like them 1, 2, 3 in the order, going to be tough for any team in that division to compete with. But
Because Quan barrels everything up, man.
oh yeah, I mean, Quan's a guy that don't strike out much, and J Ram's the guy to he can get you anything on the diamond. But Lane Thomas, I
J-Ram's the most underrated player in the MLB.
they've had some outside of Luis Ortiz. I mean, they've had some pretty strong outings from Gavin, from Ben Lively, Logan Allen, Logan Allen, I never would have thought would have been a 5. But yeah, the Tigers is definitely theirs to lose. I mean, especially since they've scored 214 runs so far on the year.
Nobody expects their offense to play this well, neither.
Yeah, I mean, and they've only had 142 runs scored against. So they're absolutely, like you said, the pitching staff is there. The young bats are there. Torkelson, I love him. I'm glad he's finally playing well. Riley Green, he's been slow. He's starting to get hot. Zach McKinstry, like all those guys, they're playing so well. It's definitely theirs to lose. But I'm going to say towards the end of the year, the Guardians finally put it together. They're going to be the ones to take the division.
Can't sleep on the Royals, though.
Oh, you definitely
The
can't.
Royals are one pitcher away from being right there with them.
Yeah.
As far as the Guardians go, though, like their schedule set up, I mean, they got Milwaukee, Cincinnati, Minnesota, then they play Detroit. If you look at Detroit's schedule, you're looking at Boston, Toronto, St. Louis, and then the Guardians. I think they just probably got a tougher schedule before that matchup. That might be able to let Cleveland get a couple of games of separation, or at least, close the gap a lot more than just 2 games right now.
Who you say Cleveland's got who? What was
Cleveland
that?
has.
He said Boston.
No, that was Tigers.
No, Cleveland's got Milwaukee, Cincinnati, Minnesota before they play Detroit.
Yeah, Cleveland's got the easier route for sure.
And then,
because like the Cardinals are playing the hottest in baseball right now. If they continue, whenever Detroit meets them, it's going to be pretty tough.
right,
And Boston, Boston just when those guys get on, they're just impossible to beat.
And then Detroit just come off of losing a series to Toronto or Philly. I think it was Philly, right?
That was the
Guardians lost the series to the Phillies, and then Detroit lost to Toronto.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is going to be something to look out for, though. Like early on, is the head-to-head matchups. So, what does the record look like going into the series, and then who wins that series? Because we all know baseball comes down to 2 or 3 games at the end of the season, and you reflect back to how did you play against that team head-to-head could be the difference maker.
Right.
Yeah. It'll definitely depend, but I mean, right now, outside looking in, the Guardians, once things start coming together, I mean, they've been outscored run-wise. So that's what I'm saying. Like, once the offense picks up, once Lane Thomas finally gets going and starts putting more balls in the field, watch out for the Guardians.
And don't sleep on the Royals.
Right. Don't sleep on the Royals. You can't with Bobby Witt Jr. out there.
And Salvador Perez ain't even hit the ball good yet. So, I mean, you add in whenever he gets hot. And Vinny's starting to pick it up now.
Hey, Garcia is picking it up. My
Oh, Miguel
lord.
Garcia is
Hey,
playing phenomenal baseball right now.
yeah.
And
I,
I didn't expect him to play as well as he's playing. I
I
mean,
I expect him to play close, but not to the extent
that's
he
what.
is.
Yeah,
He's starting to push that I'm a star level, and I didn't
oh yeah,
expect that out of him.
he's definitely pushing that.
Yeah. Speaking of the Cardinals, you said a while ago, they're on an 8-game winning streak. Um, they're 1 or 2 games back from the Cubs. Can we see them overtake? I know the Cubs, right? They've had the hardest schedule out the gate for any team in the MLB, and they have the easiest second half. Can we still see the Cardinals take over that division, or will the Cubs take it all the way to the end?
Well, I think the Cubs' offense is slowly starting to fade. You know, they got off to that hot start. They were playing, you know, they were hitting the ball really well. But what we're seeing out of the Cardinals is like the pitching staff has really stepped it up a notch. I think with this series against the Nationals, they could put 3 runs in a 3-game series, and we're finding ways to win. Whether that's just people getting on base, moving the line, driving in runs, or as today we've seen the Cardinals, you know, go deep 3 times. So I mean, yeah, the Cardinals are just finding ways to score runs, and the pitching staff's holding the other team off. And that's kind of what we were hoping for going into the year because we knew the offense of the Cardinals wasn't great. We knew the pitching staff wasn't great. So it was just, can we find ways to score runs, keep the other team off the board, and just find ways to win games.
Man, having Herrera back in the lineup makes all the difference.
Yeah, and
Makes all
Pozo,
the difference.
that little, I mean, obviously Contreras isn't a catcher anymore. That little
Yeah.
3-catcher system thing we got, you know, Contreras not playing catcher anymore, but he can obviously, a guy, a veteran that's been there and done that, he can help the other catchers in that sense. And just Herrera and Pozo, though, the way those 2 guys have worked together has been really
yeah.
Because I mean, I think Pozo was catcher today, and then Herrera was the DH, which I feel like that's going to be the move going forward. And then we got Pajes as well. You can't.
Hey, I'm just glad our young bats are, you know, hitting as well as they are. Victor Scott holding that spot all year long. Like, I love that. I love the fact that, you know, he come out and he struggled last year and got sent back down. Then he's earned that spot in the spring, and then he's held on to it, and he's just hit and hit and hit and hit. He's looked good, looked phenomenal actually. Glad he's been out there in the outfield for us.
I love seeing Nolan Arenado pick it up.
Hey,
I've been waiting on Nolan Arenado to return, and it feels like he's getting that energy in him. Like I feel like last year he didn't have fun. I feel like this year, like this win streak has really ignited that energy into Arenado, and I think we're going to see a good run from him.
well, it's kind of hard for him whenever, you know, he relied on Paul Goldschmidt and Goldie wasn't performing, and then when he wasn't performing, the guys under him wasn't performing. So now it's more so the other guys are performing. They're looking to him like, hey, pull your weight, and now he's pulling his weight. So after all the trade rumor and stuff like that, it is finally nice to see Nolan pick it up.
And what a start to the year for Lars Nootbaar. Like, oh my God, that dude's killing it, bro.
He is. He is. Brandon Woodruff set to return. You know, good old Wheeler boy. I think I read that he hasn't really pushed that 98, 99 since he's been on his 6 rehab starts, but he's been sitting around somewhere between 94, 95ish. 25 innings, 25 Ks, 2.81 ERA in his 6 rehab starts.
I mean, walked. That's the thing. Well, that's my big thing.
He hasn't. I honestly, let me see.
Because when I think of Brandon Woodruff, and you saying dropping speed, my big thing is like, is he commanding the strike zone?
7 walks in 6 games.
25 innings.
Yep, 25 innings, 7 walks.
That's not bad. That's not bad. So that's what you like to see him command the strike zone, especially if his velocity drops. Because when pitchers start having trouble finding the strike zone, that's when you start leaving pitches down the middle.
Let's see, 3 doubles.
He gave up 1 run 2 hits and no walks.
He pitches Tuesday in Memphis.
Nah, I don't think he is.
He's not. They pulled it. He was
I think-
supposed to. He was supposed to pitch Tuesday in Memphis.
Yeah, I think they're gonna pull it.
Dang, man. I was gonna go. Really?
Yeah, I was wanting to see it, but I think I read that this last start he had was gonna be his last one.
Yeah, he started today, right? Yeah.
He might have. I don't know. Last
Yeah.
I seen, he was supposed to start on Tuesday.
He started today, and he gave up 1 earned run, 2 hits, no walks. He struck out 3 in 2 1/3 inning.
Yeah, well, he ain't pitching Tuesday then. That's probably gonna be. He's probably coming up to the show now.
Yep, that was his final start.
But also going back to the velocity thing, he could be just holding back, getting a feel for the game. Because like being out for as long as he's been out.
Oh yeah, of course.
You definitely know that, like from us that's played sports, like when you're dealing with an injury, you don't want to push yourself and then you end up getting hurt again.
Well,
and when you're pitching at that high of a level, like health has got to be your number one concern.
Well, not just that. You got somebody like him that missed so much time, and then he come back, and then he went out, and then had to have shoulder surgery. So, I mean, he's definitely, I'm sure, not putting full force into it. He's taking a little bit at a time, going to work it up. We'll probably, if he's still touching it, we'll see it probably. What is this? Early May. We'll see it probably into July.
Yeah. Well, that's
Also
going to hit when he hits that mound again in the MLB. You know that adrenaline going to take over.
Oh yeah, he'll have some of it, but I'm talking about consistently, like game to game, where he's, any inning he's out there, he's pushing. I mean, we're so used to seeing him go out there, and when his fastball is on, like he's setting 97, 99. I mean,
yeah,
dude's a freak.
But like I said, if you're commanding the strike zone, you don't need it.
Yeah,
You're hitting your spots, you don't need it.
28 to 39 for strikes in his last start, so
yeah,
pretty good.
How many pitches did he throw? You say he pitched today. How many pitches did he throw today?
83? Yeah.
Oh, he's ready. He's ready to go.
Oh yeah. 83. Love that for him. Oh, Dino, Woody.
Yeah.
You ever get to watch this? Hey, just whenever you go out there against the Cardinals, you just put it up on a tee for us. Everybody else, strike them all out.
Yeah, because I'll never forget. The time I was catcher and I was like, fastballs outside. He said, "You know what? I'll step over this home plate and hit it off the gym. How about that?"
Yeah.
I remember looking when he hit it. I was like, "No way! He just hit that ball, dude. I swear, I'm not even lying to you. It was at least 2 foot off the plate." He reached out and hit it, and I was like, "Oh wow, that ball went a long ways."
Yeah, hey, that was one of them that you just kind of sit there and you watch, and you're like, man, where's that ball gonna land up?
I thought it was going to hit the top of the gym, bro. I ain't gonna lie. It hit the side of it.
Yeah, it hit the side of it still. A moon shot for sure.
For a second, I thought he might go over the gym. Oh man, I'm glad we didn't pitch him inside. That ball we would have lost that one.
Yeah, then senior year he struck you out. How many times in 2 games? 7.
What do you mean? I only faced him one time. He struck me out one time.
Nah.
Junior year, I was 2 for 2 against him, and then senior year, I was.
Yeah,
I struck out. I bunted.
Junior year don't count.
Junior year, I was 2 for 2. He wasn't throwing no 97. He was throwing about 90.
Yeah. Senior year is when he dropped football and decided to start focusing on.
I was 0 for 3 against him. I had a struck out, grounded out to third, then flied out to right to end the no hitter. I was the last guy on the freaking no hitter, man.
Well,
you love to feel that.
I won't forget that. I was batting third when we faced him senior year, and I walked up to the cage. I
was with you. It was me and you both walked up.
Yeah, I was giving him a little chatter, like, "What's up?" Like, man, it's kind of weird, growing up, we've seen you with all these MLB scouts out here. And I was like, you know what? Just do me a favor and throw me all fastballs. And he laughed and he's like, yeah, I got you.
Yeah, not a good idea, bro. Not a good idea, bro.
My man goes out there, the very first pitch in the other batter's box. The ump's like, strike. I turn around and look.
Catcher probably didn't even catch it. That catcher missed everything he threw, bro. He was throwing so hard the catcher couldn't.
Who was that? I think that was Jacob Moore. I can't remember.
That was the guy that usually plays third. He played third our junior year.
Maybe I can't remember for sure, but yeah, I remember I remember all them scouts back there. 97, 97. I got 98. I was like, all right, this is how this is gonna be. So I choked up a little bit on it. Then the next one come in, same thing, except it's a little high. Don't go strike. And I'm like, I look over at our dugout. I look back. I'm like, all right, well, I'm just gonna try swinging and hoping I get it. And here goes my man. So I'm choked up on the bat, expecting 97-mile-an-hour fastball, and this man throws an 84-mile-an-hour curveball, and I'm early as shit on it. Thank you, Brandon.
Well, yeah, I'll never forget that. At least you wasn't. I think 2 guys on our team got hit. At least you wasn't one of those guys.
Yeah, that's true. I'd have much rather did that. You know how like prideful I'd have been if like
Get on base.
Yeah, he hit me and I got on base. Just kind of look at him like, yeah, I told you I was gonna get on base.
Well, see, I remember whenever I come up to bat, Corey Eaton was like, "Hey, if I say because they said they could see the catcher's signs. He's like,
Yeah.
hey, if I say your last name, it's fastball. If I say your number, it's off speed." So I'm like, all right, cool. And I hear, come on, six. I'm like, all right, off speed. I'm ready. Dude, that's the fastest thing I've ever seen in my life, bro. I was like, how do you want me to hit this when you telling me it's off speed? So I was like, all right. And I heard the scouts in the back. One of them was like, I got 96. Oh, I got 96. I heard one say, I got 97. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
All right. So I was like, man, I got to get ready. I got to load up quick. I got to get out front on it. And I was so locked in, bro. I can remember it like it was yesterday. I was so locked in. I seen the ball like curving out of his hand. And I was like, okay, it's off speed. Like when if you playing the game, you get so locked in, like you think so fast, everything feels so slow,
Yeah.
I was like, I seen it coming, but the ball was coming at my head, bro, and I was like, I don't trust it. So I dipped, and when I dipped, man, I seen it out the corner of my eye just break right down the middle, and I was like, oh man, I'm cooked, bro. I'm cooked. This man got me bailing out the box on a ball that I thought was coming in my head, but instead it goes right down the middle. Yeah, and then he hit me with another fastball on the outside corner. I went back to the dugout and I was like, bro, you told me you were going to let me know what pitch was coming. He's like, no, I said it's off, man. I said it's off. I can't see the signs. I'm like, oh, well, you made me look stupid. Yeah, it was fun though. Good experience. I hope he does well.
Yeah,
coming back
we really hope that you're healthy, and hope to see you in the show for a good long time.
Yeah, I tried to bunt my last at bat. Didn't work out. He threw it in the other batter's box. I still went for it.
Yeah, well, he was good at that, unfortunately. Yeah, and still got a strike.
Could you imagine though, like what it was like pitching, like if you were him pitching in high school, and like, or just being the catcher in general, but like how many people get on base for drop third strike because the catcher just can't catch the ball? That would be so. I'd be frustrated, man.
I think Jacob finally figured it out. Took a long time.
He might have. Catcher's a hard position to learn though.
Hey, all you gotta do is guess a little bit. Hey, you know what? Just tell whoever's playing first. Hey, just get ready. If it's a short backstop, I'm coming up fired.
Oh, man, I would not want to block a ball in the dirt he was throwing, man. Jeez.
Yeah. Last topic of the night, NFL. Derek Carr retiring. What's this say for the Saints?
What you got, Nick?
I think, it obviously opens up, but Tyler Shuck, that's going to be the one. If anything, if the Saints are smart, they just hold their cards close to their chest. We all know it's going to be Tyler Shuck, but they just need to pretend like it's going to be Spencer Rattler. Hopefully, during preseason, he has a good outing, and one of these teams that need a backup quarterback, they can get something for him, maybe an extra receiver, or something for him, because they're not going to use Rattler. They're going to use Shuck, or else they wouldn't have drafted him. But because they had to known something was going up with Derek Carr.
To take a quarterback as high as they did.
Yeah, right. So
yeah.
Do you think they plan on taking a quarterback next year? Like if Shuck.
Well,
if they end up with they win 2 games, they end up with the #1 overall pick. Their rookie quarterback didn't perform. Do they give him another year, or do they take a chance?
Dude, they have 3 quarterbacks. Their 3 quarterbacks are 3 rookie deal quarterbacks right now.
Yeah, the only reason I say that is because as a Saints fan, I'd be so mad, bro, because you had the opportunity to fix your problems with the ninth overall pick in the draft, and you decided to play along with this game the NFL had going on, and you didn't take Shadur Sanders when you could have fixed all your problems right there, and you could have been set up for your future, and the Saints could have the ball rolling going right now.
Tank for Manning, cuz.
Yeah, that's definitely gonna be it. If they don't do good this year,
Is that
those
everybody's game plan? 'Cause that's what it
they'll,
sounds
they'll draft a position of need next year and then wait for Manning.
He might come out next year though.
True.
If he has a good
Oh.
year at Texas, I would definitely.
If Manning has a good year at Texas, he's definitely coming out. He's been sitting on the bench collecting checks. I mean, let's be honest. If it's a team like the Saints that's sitting at the top, ready to draft, oh yeah, his whole family's gonna be like, go out.
they're going to have to.
Now, if you're sitting there looking at the Jets or Cleveland again, Manning's probably gonna be like, I'm gonna stay at Texas another year. Get me
for sure.
Get me another 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 million.
All right. What about this scenario? If I'm not mistaken, Carr retiring frees up some cap, right?
Right.
So there's a quarterback out there that hasn't made up his mind whether he's even coming back. Do they have?
That's what I thought about that as well.
To go after Rodgers.
I thought about that as well. I thought that is another possible landing spot for Aaron Rodgers now.
Hey, with those weapons, I had this conversation not too long ago that you was talking about the Steelers trying to draft Genty and stuff, and I was saying how that's not Rodgers type of running back. Now, Alvin Kamara is Aaron Rodgers type of running back for sure.
Man. Easy yards right there for Rodgers.
Right. So I mean it's definitely a good take.
I don't want to see it. Obviously, they're in the same division as the Falcons, but
where's Aaron Rodgers' headspace though? I mean,
yeah, I don't think anybody really knows. I feel like Aaron Rodgers is in his own little world, and he's not communicating with anybody inside the NFL about what his plans are.
At the end of the day, it definitely could swap up now that Pittsburgh is traded Pickens. So could be one of the first dominoes to fall, and then maybe when that happened, there was talks that Aaron Rodgers was like, that team's not looking as good as it was. I may hold off, and then the Saints were talking to Derek Carr like, hey, how you feeling? Because we could potentially bring in somebody to play in your spot if you don't think you're going to play, if you just want to go ahead and retire and do as a solid.
Well, see, personally, it's just my opinion, but I don't think Pickens getting traded would have anything to do with Rodgers' decision, because you got Devontae Adams. Like, what kind of franchise receiver has he had at a team that he hasn't helped develop, like Nelson, all that? You know what I mean? So.
Greg Jennings, Donald Driver.
Let's be real. I mean, he went.
That was early in his career.
Yeah, right. He went to the Jets.
Yeah, that's when he won his Super Bowl, though, too.
He went to the Jets. They had Garrett Wilson. How did that turn out?
No, I agree 100%. That's another reason why the Saints aren't as promising, because he just had Garrett Wilson with what he would get in Chris Olave, except Olave stays a lot more hurt than Wilson does.
So I don't think he really. Not necessarily don't care if Pickens is there, but I think if it was me, I'd choose the Steelers over the Saints, just for the defensive outlook and then the weapons on offense.
Here's the thing, though.
Well, the recent success as well, like the Steelers, have had a record for so many years in a row.
Mike Tomlin's going to win regardless.
Yeah, and we've established that Aaron Rodgers him and Mike Tomlin have a mutual respect for each other.
Yeah.
Like, that's well established over the last, 7 to 10 years. But if you think about the Saints offense, it actually is set up the way Aaron Rodgers likes. Like, he loves a deep threat. Who is that receiver that they have? Rashid Shaheed or whatever his name is?
Yeah.
I mean, deep threat all day long. Derek Carr has practically made that guy a career, throwing him long balls for touchdowns or long balls for, deep completions. So Aaron Rodgers loves that type of guy in his offense. Then he has the finesse guy with Olave. Kamara, the running back out of the backfield that can catch. Aaron Jones in Green Bay,
But
Brees Hall
Kamara,
in the
though, you're
Jets.
talking about injury as well. I mean,
But not as injury prone. And the thing about it is, when you have Kamara in the game, like it's going to be Aaron Rodgers is the type that he knows how to protect his players, so he's going to be throwing Kamara open rather than throwing him into coverage, and that's gonna help play into Kamara's longevity on the team. And I think, did the Saints trade away that their backup that they were using? Behind Kamara, what was that guy's name? They may have traded him to the Steelers or something.
It was Williams.
Jamal.
Was it?
Jamal.
No, that wasn't who I was thinking about. But yeah, Jamal Williams is a fine running back to go in between the tackles and then leave the rest of the stuff for Kamara. Easy to put both of them on each side. Go 4 wide, 3 or 4 wide. Yeah.
But if you're talking about, go ahead.
So say you don't bring in Aaron Rodgers, right? What's the age of the 2 quarterbacks, Bentley Rattler and Tyler Shaw? They're both roughly 24, 25 years old.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, the guys and you look at it, none of them are ready to play in the NFL.
Right.
It's just a tough situation if you're a Saints fan. Anyways, with what you have right now, you can't. We can speculate where Aaron Rodgers is going to go all day, but nobody really knows. So you have to play with and get ready for what you have right now. And I feel like the Saints they're in a bad spot, man. The quarterback,
they're in a very bad spot.
Well, if you're going to assume Rodgers is going to pick based off the weapons, if that was his decision, he wouldn't choose Pittsburgh or New Orleans. He'd go to Minnesota.
Yeah, Minnesota don't want him. They're moving forward with J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah, they say that because
McCarthy, he is an absolute stud, bro.
Right. They're saying that they're moving forward with J.J. because Aaron Rodgers told him he wasn't going to make his decision. He had some personal stuff he wanted to take care of before he made his decision on what he wanted to do, whether it was play again or retire. Now, if he makes the decision, hey, I'm coming back, you don't think they'll be like, all right, here's $10 million over here and.
That would be bad for your organization because as an organization, if you're kind of on the fence about it, and then all of a sudden you announce, okay, we're moving forward with our guy, and you have a rookie quarterback that's as good as J.J. McCarthy is, you have to stick with that. You have to ride with him now. Once you go against that word and you bring in Aaron Rodgers, I feel like it's going to bring down team morale, and you don't want that. You don't want that in the locker room in Minnesota right now, especially when you have the team that they have. You know, Sam Darnold had a great year last year, but J.J. McCarthy gives you more dynamic in that offense. He can give you more, and he's only going to get better as the season goes on.
First off, you don't want bad team morale in Minnesota with Green Bay knocking heads like they are and Detroit knocking heads, and then the Bears, all the trades they've made, their draft, let's be honest,
that's the best division in football.
This is fixing to be an absolute dogfight this entire year for the NFC North.
And Caleb Williams is, as we've seen as the year went on, he only got better.
Right.
There's no telling what Caleb Williams may come out and do this year. You know.
Yeah, so you definitely don't want to do something as drastic as bringing in somebody that would hurt the team's morale and then drop y'all from first to potential or from first, second. Probably second to last in the division. When you have the highest paid wide receiver on your roster, you've got multiple pieces in there that you brought in to win a Super Bowl. It's tough sledding. Now I do agree because I said it before. The Vikings definitely would have been a better spot for Aaron Rodgers to land because of the weapons alone.
Yeah, but he would have had to make that decision.
Yeah.
But before all the training, before all the training camps, but all the spring stuff and everything started, because once you move forward with that, you have to stick with it.
Sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, that wraps up this podcast. Here we go with best bets of the week. I'm Red Samples.
Austin Harris.
Nick Ballinger.
Best bets of the week.
All right, May 12th, best bets. Opie, what you got?
I'm taking Willie Adames for over 1.5 total bases. He's hitting 368 against Merrill Kelly and 19 at bats. And I'm also going to take Corey Seager for over 1.5 total bases because the rookie Dolander's on the mound. He has a 7.71 ERA.
All right, give me Trey Turner over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs, and then I'm gonna take Kyle Tucker over 1.5 total bases. He's batting a 750 against Quantrill. What you got, Nick?
All right, let me get Manny Machado getting over 1.5 bases against Yusei Kikuchi. He's hit 2 bombs and 8 at bats. And let me get Jimmy Butler getting over 26.5 points against Minnesota with Curry out the lineup.
All right, May 13th. Best bets, Nick. What you got?
May 13th, I've got Ivan Herrera getting over 1.5 bases against Jesus Luzardo. And also give me Corey Seager getting over 1.5 bases against Kyle Freeland. He's 14 of 23 against Freeland and with a 625 on base percentage. What you got, Opie?
I got Byron Buxton. Take him for over 1.5 total bases. He's hitting a 400 against Caden Pavich. And also, let me take Kodai Zinga for 6+ strikeouts because he's facing a struggling Pirates lineup.
All right, I'm gonna start us off with Juan Soto over 1.5 total bases. He's batting a 375 against Mitch Keller. And then I'm gonna take Dylan Cease over 5.5 strikeouts. He's coming off a 9K performance versus the Yankees. That's our best bet segment of the week. I'm Red Samples.
Austin Harris.
Nick Ballinger.
See y'all next week.